Today we're checking out the brand new FMS FCX24 Unimog. This is yet another new addition to the FCX24 lineup, giving us a licensed Mercedes Unimog body on top of the already tried and true FCX24 platform. This does utilize a lot of the same features that we're familiar with the FCX24 lineup, but it does have some new items in it. So why don't we jump in, take a closer look at this thing, then we're going to take it out and hit the trails and see how it performs. So let's dig into it. Alright, let's check this thing out. So like I said, if you're familiar with the FCX24, a lot of this is going to be very familiar to you. There's a lot of FCX24 content out there, so I'm just going to hit the highlights and then we'll get into the new stuff. So like the FCX24 predecessors, this sits on a nylon chassis. We do have a multi-link suspension setup underneath. We've got slider style drive shafts going into this 2-speed transmission hooked to the 130 brushed motor. Rounding out the drivetrain, we do have portal axles front and back. The portal axles do have composite gears in the diffs, but they have metal portal gears out by the wheels. The transmission also has composite gears. We have these red 1.2-inch beadlock wheels wrapped in these aggro tires. We've got a metal geared servo up front mounted on the axle. Opening up the hood, you can see a little bit of the electronics here. This utilizes the 2-in-1 receiver and ESC combo that we're familiar with. Offers very smooth operation, a little whiny, but still offers very smooth, slow speed control. Underneath the hood, we do have the battery. This does have a little bit of Velcro on here, so it fastens into this little compartment here and doesn't wiggle or slide around, which is nice. This is the familiar 380 milliamp 2S LiPo battery that comes with it. Got your power switch right here. We do have functioning headlights. They're operated by the transmitter. All of these other lenses that you see are not functional, but you can toggle the headlights on and off with the radio. Sitting on top of the chassis is this fully licensed Mercedes Unimog hard body. Looks fantastic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the second iteration of the Unimog style. I believe Rock Hobby had a Mogrich, I think it was, which was the 18th scale Unimog style unlicensed body that looked very similar to this. But now we get the fully licensed Mercedes Unimog style body, which looks great on here. You do get this 2.4 gigahertz FMS transmitter that we're used to. This is the multifunctional unit, so you want to click the bind button. Does your lights. Just like that. 2-speed transmission operated by channel 3. You have high and low and neutral in the middle. Low speed has very good slow crawl. I really like the electronics on this thing. They do a great job. Very impressive out of a box stock brushed motor setup there. The body is very cool. It's worth spending some time on the body here. Fully licensed, like I said, it does come in the 3 colors. This kind of matte gray is very cool looking. In the back, pickup truck bed. The sides do fold flat. You can open the tailgate, lay the sides down. The bed does not dump, but you can lay it flat, just like that. Inside, it's still tough to see, but there is a full interior. We've got steering wheel, dashboard, gauges with stickers on them, all the radio dials and everything, very well detailed. The doors, we have door handles here. The doors do not open, but they've got a great scale look to them. Windshield wipers, snorkel, mirrors. The mirrors are flexible, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on them. Got composite bumper up front. It does have the fender liners as well. And in the back, we do have these red taillight lenses, but again, there is no power hooked up to these. While this does utilize pretty much the exact same FCX24 chassis that we've seen in the Power Wagon, there is one change that is certainly welcomed, and that is the addition of oil-filled shocks. So you know, on the recent Lemur that we got from FMS, we got oil-filled shocks. Now we get the same thing with this one. So you can see none of that bounce that we get from the friction damped units. Now we've got these nice oil-filled shocks here that give it a much more composed, stable ride. So overall, very cool little truck. Great addition to the FCX24 lineup. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take this thing out and hit the rocks. We're going to see what it's capable of. I'm not going to hit the indoor course because I can tell you just with the way the body is, it's a heavy, hard body. That scale detail comes at a cost, and that cost is true performance. So as it sits right now, especially with the aggro tires on it, It's not going to do much on the indoor course, but it is a lot of fun to take out, hit the trails with. So we're going to do that. We're going to go find some rocks. We're going to go find some trails. We're going to find some mud and see what this thing's capable of. So let's go get after it. Out here with the Unimog, the FMS FCX24 Unimog out on the trail. It's actually surprising me out here. I thought with the scale hard body, how tall it is and how heavy it is, it would be a rollover machine and just be flip-flopping all over the place and give me fits out here, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how stable and how planted it is. Driving along in low speed, just has this excellent slow crawl ability. I mean, look how you can slow this thing down. Just fantastic slow crawl with this electronic and motor combo. The ESC is a little whiny in stock form, but I'll take it for the performance that you get out of this. And of course you can rip it into 2-speed with the channel 3. Lots of wheel speed if you need it. We're going to go up this ravine here. This is a great spot for the minis. The oil shocks on this are a welcome upgrade. They really make a big difference as far as how this thing rides and how stable it is. I think that could be contributing to the positive driving experience because the chassis just doesn't bounce around a lot, even though it's that heavy hard body. It's really composed, and as you can see, it's not flopping back and forth. What's really holding this thing back is the tires. I think it could really benefit from some good tires and wheels, although it's performing surprisingly well. Out here, you just have to work it a little harder. You have to bump over things that you normally wouldn't, especially with that good slow crawl. You'd think with a good set of tires it would hook up really, really well, which we're going to try soon, but in stock form it's doing okay. The approach angle, departure angle on this is good. I'm able to hit things pretty steep, and it's climbed up and over things that really surprised me. Like there's a good case in point there. I'm going to come into these rocky sections and see how it does. See if we can get up and over this rock obstacle here and see what it can do. Hey, look at that. Nice. So it really is surprising me out here. We might have to put it on the indoor course after all and see how it does on the challenge lines, because it's doing great out on the trail here. The portal axles are really beneficial in a spot like this. You can see it's just able to glide over obstacles right in the middle of the chassis. If you put those narrow tires in a good position, I'm stuck here. So I need with the tires. There we go. But you put those narrow tires over the rocks and you're able to cruise up and over some pretty gnarly obstacles just like that. That would give smaller scale straight axle rigs fits through here. me get that. Ah, actually one of the only times it's rolled over on me down here. It's doing, there we go. It's doing really good. Surprisingly planted. We'll come up and out of the ravine here. This thing did a really good job in this section. Able to recover there. So overall, I think this is another great addition to the FCX24 lineup from FMS, especially if you're looking for a more scale look. You get the great licensed hard body, great scale details on this thing, but you also get the benefits of the FCX24 package with the portal axles and that great powertrain. So I think this is an awesome new truck. And I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to pick one of these up. Like I said, it does come in the 3 different colors. The gray, like what we have here. There's a nice green and a red. But we're going to keep rocking and rolling here. I'm going to hand this over to Axel and we're going to see what it's capable of in the mud and the water. We're going to have some more fun. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And I'll see you in the next video.
Do it. Oh! Daddy, get this! He's dead.
It did pretty good.
I know. Oh! Like that. It must be heavy. It must be hard to pull. On that side it is. Let's go you next. Deep. Real deep. Get deeper.
Oh, it's swimming.
I know.
It's swimming.
Keep swimming. Keep swimming. I'm swimming over the horse.